She is light itself and transcendent. Emanating from her body are rays in thousands, 2,000, 100,000, tens of millions, 100 million. There is no counting their numbers. It is by and through her that all things moving and motionless shine. It is by the light of this Devi that all things become manifest. In the Devi Upanishad, the Supreme Goddess explains her true nature, that transcends all empiric existence. Great Goddess, who art thou? She replies, I am essentially Brahman, the Absolute. From me has proceeded the world comprising Prakriti, material substance, and Purusha, cosmic consciousness. The void and the plenum. I am all forms of bliss and non-bliss. Knowledge and ignorance are myself. I am the five elements, and also what is different from them, the Panchabhutas, five gross elements, and Tanmatras, five subtle elements. I am the entire world. I am the Veda, as well as what is different from it. I am unknown. Below and above and around am I. It is the Krama system of Kashmir, a system distinct and independent, which defines the ultimate reality as Kali. The Krama philosophy in Kashmir Saivism has been elaborately expounded by Abhinavagupta at 950-1020, a philosopher saint of the highest spiritual attainment. The Divine Mother's magic is ancient as life itself. She existed before gods and mortals, and she will still exist even after the great dissolution. Mother is pure energy in subtle form, but in times of need or just out of a desire to play, she manifests. She is all beauty, this woman nude and terrible and black, who tells the name of God on the skulls of the dead, who creates the bloodshed on which demons fatten, who slays rejoicing and repents not, and blesses him only that lies crushed beneath her feet. Her mass of black hair flows behind her like the wind, or like time, the drift and passage of things. She is blue almost to blackness, like a mighty shadow. Feminine force, those thy lovely forms in the three worlds, and those thy furious forms, save us in all of them. Devi Mahatmya. The great goddess Durga was born from the energies of the male divinities when the gods became impotent in the long drawn-out battle with the Asuras. All the energies of the gods united and became supernova, throwing out flames in all directions. Then, that unique light, pervading the three worlds with its luster, combined into one and became a female form. The Devi projected an overwhelming omnipotence. The three-eyed goddess was adorned with the crescent moon. Her multiple arms held auspicious weapons and emblems, jewels and ornaments, garments and utensils, garlands and rosaries of beads, all offered by the gods. With her golden body blazing with the splendor of 1,000 suns, seated on her lion or tiger vehicle. Durga is one of the most spectacular of all personifications of cosmic energy. A tremendous power is poised, ready for the grim battle to wipe out demonic forces, the Asuras, whose exaggerated ego sense is destroying the balance of the universe, and whose sole purpose is to dominate and control. It is the universal war between knowledge and ignorance, truth and falsehood, the oppressor and the oppressed. The world shook and the seas trembled as the goddess engaged the great demon Mahisasura and his hosts in fierce battle, creating her own female battalions from her sighs breathed during the fighting. When the battle was over, The Devi had destroyed the demon's army, symbolic of disruptive aggression. Enraged by her victory, Mahisasura took on buffalo form to overcome the goddess. Repeatedly, the goddess slew the buffalo demon, and each time he transformed himself into a new and more ferocious shape. Then, with the strength of spiritual energy gained by drinking from the wine cup charged with spiritual force, the goddess struck the demon head from the buffalo body. The goddess Durga defeats the Mahisasura was dead, and the gods praised the goddess, joyfully worshipping her with flowers, incense, and fragrant paste. Thou, Ambika, a name of Durga, dost overspread the universe with thy power. The power of all divine beings is drawn into thy form. Thou art Great Mother, worshipped by all divine beings and sages. We bow ourselves in devotion to thee. Bless us with all that is good for us. We bow before thee, O Devi. Thou who art the good fortune of the virtuous, ill fortune in the house of the evil, intelligence in the minds of the learned, faith in the hearts of the good, the modesty of the highborn. O Kandika, none can speak of thy power and might, not even Brahma, Vishnu, Siva, and Ananta. Send us thy thoughts for the protection of the universe and for the uprooting of all dangers. Thou whose nature it is to subdue the wicked, whose beauty is beyond imagining, whose power destroys those who rendered the Devas powerless, compassionate even towards those enemies, those thy lovely forms in the three worlds, and those thy furious forms. Save us in all of them. But this victory was not the end of the episode. Two other powerful asuras, Sumba and Nisumba, had deprived the gods of their divine functions, and once more the gods prayed to the goddess. Thou who art terrible, thou who art eternal, thou who art the moon and the moon's light, and happiness itself. The goddess as Parvati did not yield at once to this masculine adoration. Instead, she projected her feminine psyche from her body, personified as Kausiki, the sheathed one, to enable her to evaluate their prayers in her own shadow self. Being convinced, she projected Kanda and Mundafind, the Devi Sialail, upon the mountainside, an overwhelming omnipotence. As Kalika, she stationed herself on Mount Himalaya. There, Kanda and Munda, servants of the powerful demons Sumba and Nisumba, came upon Ambika bearing a surpassingly charming form. They returned and told Sumba, "O king, a most beautiful woman dwells there, shedding a radiance on Mount Himalaya. Never has such beauty been seen. Find out who the goddess is, O Lord, and take possession of her." A jewel of exquisite limbs, say 11 illumining the four quarters with her luster, O Lord of demons. All the precious gems, the elephants, horses, and treasures of the three worlds have been brought together in your house. Why is this beautiful jewel of a woman not seized by you? This time, the goddess was met, not with confrontation, but with the masculine tactics of seduction to disarm her with flattery. Sumba sent the great demon Sugrilva to the Devi to win her, commanding him, "Tell her this and this, speak to her in such a manner that she will quickly come to me in love." The messenger went to the beautiful place in the mountains where the Devi was staying and spoke sweet words to her. "O Devi, Sumba, Lord of Demons, is sovereign over the three worlds. Lend your ear to the words of him whose command is never resisted by the Devas, and who has vanquished all the demons' foes. The three worlds are mine, and the gods obey me. All the choicest gems in the three worlds are mine. O beautiful lady, jewel of womankind, come to us. For we are in joy, heirs of the best. Come to me, and to my valiant younger brother Nisumba. Wealth beyond compare will be yours by marrying me. Reflect upon this and become my wife." The Devi replied serenely, "What you say is true. Sumba is indeed sovereign of the three worlds, and so is Nisumba. But how shall what I have promised be made false? Ha, the promise I have made to myself in my foolishness. He who conquers me in battle, who removes my pride, who is my match for strength here in the world, he shall be my husband. So let Sumba come here, or the great Asura Nisumba. Let him vanquish me here, and he may soon claim my hand in marriage. O Devi, answered the messenger, you are haughty. Do not speak so. What man in the three worlds can stand out against Sumba and Nisumba? Not even Indra and all the gods can withstand the Asuras in battle. How should you, a woman, stand against them? Take my advice and go to Sumba and Nisumba. Do not lose your dignity by being dragged to them by your hair. The Devi answered, it is true. Sumba is strong and Nisumba is exceedingly valiant. But what can I do, since my unthinking vow was taken long ago? The messenger returned, filled with indignation, and related to the demon king what the Devi had said. The king, enraged, ordered his army chieftain to make haste to bring this shrew to me by force, drag her to me by the hair. Finding the goddess standing on the snowy mountainside, the chieftain ordered her to come to Sumba and Nisumba. If you will not come to my lords now with pleasure, I shall take you by force and in distress as you are dragged by your hair. The Dev answered that, since the chieftain came accompanied by an army, if you will take me by force, what can I do? The demon chief thereupon rushed forward. Ambika reduced him to ashes with a mere sound, a supersonic hum, while her spirited and angry lion destroyed the Asura's army. When Sumba learned that his chief and army had been destroyed, he commanded his servants Kanda and Munda to go with a large force to bring the Devi to him speedily, dragging her by the hair, injured or in fetters if need be. Fully armed and led by Kanda and Munda, the Asuras marched to where the Devti, smiling gently, was seated upon her lion on a high golden peak of the mountain. Upon seeing her, some of the demons excitedly tried to capture her, while others approached her with their bows bent and swords drawn.